Hello, today we're going to be doing Energy Unit 6.13 Energy Conservation. The major concepts here are we're going to be describing methods for conserving energy. We're going to be looking at small scale versus large scale, in other words, at the home or worldwide. So at home, you need to lower the thermostat and use less heat or use air conditioning less often. Heat and cool your house more intelligently. Conserve water with native plants. In other words, instead of using grass, which is an invasive species, use native plants, which will use less water. Take shorter showers. Get in the shower, turn on the water, point it away from you until it gets warm. Then take your shower. Don't wait 5 minutes. Use better toilets, dishwashers, and dryers. Use energy efficient appliances, which means they have better insulation so they'll warm up faster or cool off more without as much energy. Improve outside of the home, improve fuel efficiency. I went to a Fiat because it gets over 35 miles an hour. Or what you can do is you can go and get an electric model. You can get electric vehicles and you will get tax credits for it. You will be able to get charging stations. In fact, they're saying that there's going to be charging stations around the entire state of California, and or use hybrids, ones that use both gasoline and electricity. The advantage of electric vehicles, they have such great pickup. It's amazing. Or use public transport. Now, in LA, that's not always the case, but in places like Chicago, New York, London, using public transit is very, very efficient. Now, when I was at a conference recently, a science conference in downtown LA, it took me 45 minutes to get from Pasadena Gold Line Station to downtown to basically the sports center. One of the evenings, one of the my former students asked if I wanted a ride home. Her mom was a Uber driver, and so really knew how to drive. She was a safe driver, so I said sure, and she took me over to where I had parked my car. It took us an hour and a half because of traffic. So make sure that you have your house designed properly. You want to be able to take advantage of the sun's natural heat. Keep it in or keep it out, depending on the season. For example, you may want to plant a deciduous tree for landscaping next to the south-facing windows. Because of the leaves during the summer, it will block out the light, keeping the house cooler. During the winter, there won't be any leaves, meaning the sunlight can come in and heat up the home. Use passive solar design, which means that you do not have a solar collector, but it heats up the house. It traps the sun's heat, decreases energy from heating system, and so forth. One of the things that I do that really helps is the shutters. Basically, during the winter, I shut the winters at night, open them up during the day. Open them up at days to heat up the house, shut them at night to basically make sure that it does not cool off. During the summer, I do the exact opposite. I shut the blinds during the day and open them up at night to cool off the house. Well, you want to make sure that your walls and attic are well insulated. It traps heat in the winter and cold air in the summer. It decreases the electricity used by the AC unit and energy used by the heating system. Water conservation. Some of the things that you can do is use the native plants that require less water than invasive lawns. Also make sure they also increase biodiversity of the pollinators and require less fertilizer. Use low-flow toilets and dishwashers. They do the same job with less total water use. Use rain barrels. In other words, whenever it rains, if it rains, you collect the water to irrigate the lawns. Okay, energy conservation. 28% of the United States use energy comes from transportation of goods and people. Hybrids have both gasoline and electric engines, enable them to have a higher MPG. Okay, you can see here. Braking systems, with a hybrid, the braking system, whenever they brake, it charges the electric battery, which powers the electric motor. Electric vehicles like the Tesla or Leaf use no gasoline, but then they use electricity to charge. That's why I have a solar panel to charge. If I ever get a Leaf or Tesla, I will use that to charge my car. Or you can use public transport or carpooling. I know that's really weird in LA that there might be more than one person in a car. You can use sustainable building design, decrease the amount of energy required to build large buildings and heat or cool them. What you can do is do green walls or roofs. They decrease runoff, absorbs the sun's heat, meaning the heat doesn't go into the building, decreasing the energy needed for cooling the building, and it also insulates it during the winter. Sunlight on the roof or windows on the sides can decrease electricity used for lighting. Sony in Japan, the entire side of the building is a solar collector of their tall building. You can use recycled materials in buildings such as glass and wood, or even fly ash from coal can be used as a foundation. During peak demand, during the peak demand of the day, when the electricity demand is the highest and most expensive, make sure that you use less. If demand exceeds supply, you may have a blackout like we had this last summer. To manage peak demand, some utilities use a variable price. In other words, it costs you more money during the middle of the day. And they pay a lower rate if they use it at night or other times. The smart grid is just the idea of managing the demand and energy sources in a varied way. Using smart meters in the house or other places for the variable price models allow use rooftop solar to direct electricity back into the grid, which we have. In fact, once I put the solar panels on the roof, I'm paying less money for electricity, including what I'm paying for the solar panels, than what I did before. A practice FRQ. So here we have a graph where we have billions of dollars versus the year. Can you calculate the change in global investment in renewable energy from 2004 to 2014? I hope that was helpful. Thank you.